Okay, so welcome back to Lawrence Explains Online Academic Tuition. Now today I'm just posting a short video as the summer holidays are on the horizon now, and I just wanted to post a short video on what Year 10 students, so students going into their GCSE year, what they could be doing this summer to basically make sure they start off the new year, the new academic year, in the best way possible. So I'm really just going to focus on English language and literature for this video. So obviously the first thing for students to be doing in the summer is just taking some time off and making sure that they do other things, keep active, and have a nice, stimulating, enjoyable summer holidays. So that is always going to be priority number one. The holidays are there to be holidays. So I would never suggest someone just slaves away, just working away for the whole holidays. That wouldn't make sense. But that said, there are some proactive things that we can be doing just to make sure that when you do come back in September, at the beginning of year 11, you're coming back in the best kind of possible shape. So the second thing I would say all end of year 10 students should be thinking about is really prioritizing their English grammar for the next couple of months. So if you would give yourself, a 5 or a 6 out of 10 for grammar, could you perhaps push that up to a 7 or 8 or a 9? And obviously if it's lower than that, then you really have to be pushing yourself up as well. So this is really my number one priority with all students at all times. If you don't have a solid level of grammar, it's going to be very difficult, if not impossible, for you to pass this exam. So the first thing I will address with everybody is to make sure your grammar is really, really solid. And even with quite advanced students, there's usually 1 or 2 areas that still need tweaking. And actually with some students, we just need to go from right back to basics with the grammar and just go through everything. So there are different ways you can go about this. There's a lot of resources out there. There's online resources, there's video resources. I actually have one of my own, which I'll just show you here on my website, lawrenceexplains.com. Where are we? It's the courses. And I have a course which is pretty much kind of perfect for acquiring a really solid level of grammar. There's lots of other things in the course as well, but the first third of the first course is just completely dedicated to that. So if it's something that you're struggling with and you're not sure where to go, the course is there. It's lawrenceexplains.com. And equally, if you find other resources that you find useful as well, or even more useful, then just go and work with those. The main thing is that you get your grammar sorted. And then the third thing for students going from year 10 into year 11 is really just making sure that you A, have a general reading habit, and B, your set texts have been dealt with. So let's just focus on the general reading habit first of all. One of the things I notice with struggling candidates or candidates who are coming in who already failed the exam and they're resitting is they don't tend to have very strong reading habits, and often they will say they have no reading habits whatsoever. And this is a really simple thing that's in your control and you can improve on very quickly. So things I advocate, just really simple things, reading what you enjoy. So even if it's just online blogs, magazines, e-magazines, and also just get yourself over to Amazon. So I was just having a bit of a browse earlier on, just seeing what's coming out at the moment. Let me just search books. Let's go with the young adult. This would be the right search. These usually in the kind of 14 to 17 age group. There's all these different text coming out constantly. I might do a separate video just on recommendations, but get yourself over to Amazon. I also, advocate people just read biographies as well. We've got Michelle Obama, Sean Connery. There's a load of sports autobiographies as well on there, which I think a lot of students tend to enjoy. So that should be another kind of tool for you there, just to make sure that your reading is developing. And then lastly, do make sure with your set texts, so that would be, you're going to have one Shakespeare set text, which will normally be Romeo and Juliet or Macbeth. Make sure that you're familiar with the text, read through it. I would actually just watch it, so pull it up on YouTube and watch the whole thing. It'll take you an hour and a half, job done. Your poetry collections, again, they can be read through, really you could read those through in 20 minutes. So you really should be reading those. You should be very familiar with all those poems. And then your other text as well, your modern text. I'm not going to go through them all because there's quite a number of them for different schools and different options. But that's something you need to have dealt with before you go back to the new term. It's surprising how many students actually approach these exams and they've never even read the book they're writing a paper on. So you don't want to be in that situation. It's obviously far from ideal. So get yourself a good reading habit and make sure that you've read through your set text as well. And that can all be done, pretty leisurely, I would say, over the summer period. Those are my 3 tips for Year 10 students going into Year 11. Take a break, have a fun, interesting and stimulating holiday, get your grammar sorted out, and then just focus a little bit on your reading as well. So with that, I will leave you there.